Hi, my name is Tetona Jackson from Papa's house.
Remember, don't make this about your stupid rivalry with Daddy.
Hey, if he don't start none, there won't be none.
How about even if he does start some, there'll still be none?
So I always knew I wanted to be in entertainment because my dad's a jazz musician. My aunt is a flamenco dancer. So I kind of grew up with entertainment around me and it's kind of in my blood. But I didn't know where I really wanted to land. I mean, I think I did know that I wanted to act, but it was kind of a windy road getting here. And I loved being in front of an audience. That's the part that I really enjoy. I love being able to communicate with people through my art. And then also that adrenaline rush that you get from being in front of an audience is fun for me. I want to eventually direct and produce and, start making my way behind the camera. But I enjoy acting a lot. It's very fun. And I just had a conversation with someone this morning where she was like, how do you do it? It's you must really love it. And I was like, I do, because it's not the industry to be in if you don't enjoy it. It's a very brutal industry. There's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of no's. So you have to learn how to pick yourself back up and move on to the next.
Damon, I've been thinking.
Uh-oh.
If you took that management position Daddy's offering, and I planned a few more events, we could afford to send our kids to private school.
Yeah, but that promotion would leave me no time for doing what I love.
Directing short films?
No. Kiss my short wife.
Don't call me short.
It was a huge adjustment because I came from figure skating where it was, I knew what my next job was. I knew I was going to be getting paid. I knew I was set. I had a good name. People knew who I was in our company and I was set. So when I finally decided to quit and come home and pursue acting, it was such a big shift because everything that you work so hard in to achieve on Disney on Ice and through skating, it didn't translate to acting. So I had to kind of start from scratch and figure life out and the career and the career path. And, so it was difficult. There were a lot of moments where I was like, oh, did I make a mistake? But here I am. The biggest thing not the biggest thing, but one of the biggest things with acting is you have to be consistent and you have to, it's the momentum. It doesn't just happen overnight. And I think that's what's funny. I was talking to my dad about this. That's what's funny about people calling people overnight successes. You don't see the struggle and the grind that it took to get to this point. You just see, oh, it's a new face, but you don't see all the rejection. You don't see all the smaller projects, all the, behind the scenes of what it took to get to where they are now. I think the biggest shift for me when I was on tour, I think I had reached a point where I don't necessarily want to say I was unhappy, but it became this routine that it was very dull. And I started to wake up and be like, I don't want to go to work. This isn't really fun for me anymore. And I think that was my cue to officially be like, I think I need to leave before I start resenting something that I loved so much. So that was what shifted me from skating. And I had done it for so long, but I still really enjoy acting. And I still, that's not to say that I don't eventually want to move into directing and producing, but I still want to do this. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I think I want to learn it, but I still want to do what I'm doing until I don't want to get to a point where I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I do want to start dabbling and venturing off. But I think for right now, I'm just very happy. And being on the show that I'm on and working with the people that I'm working with is, I couldn't have asked for a better job.
Well, here we are.
So, Junior, what's on your mind?
I'll just have a glass of red.
Yeah, not that.
Right, no, yes. Dad?
The show is called Poppa's House. It's on CBS Monday nights at 8:30. But it's about Poppa, who is this successful morning radio DJ, and corporate kind of comes in and they're like, the show's not doing as well, so we're going to bring in a female co-host, which is Essence's character, Dr. Ivy Reed. And it's just from that moment on, just butting heads. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. And he's like, make it go away. But then they find this really amazing dynamic and start to work together. And it's this fun bickering, but also you find these beautiful moments between them. And then at home, he has a son, Junior, who lives right next door with his wife, myself, and our 2 kids, and we're just constantly running in and out of their house, and it's just chaos. And that's Poppa's House. God, this cast, I couldn't have asked for a more amazing cast. Essence has, since this is my first multicam show, and so it was a lot of I put a lot of pressure on myself going into it. And of course, I'm working with the Wayans and Damon Jr. and Essence herself. And then, my dad, Jeffrey Owens. And, but yeah, it was the first few weeks for me were very nerve-wracking and had a lot of anxiety. And Essence just walked me through everything and just kind of held my hand through everything and was like, everything's good. You're here for a reason. And now we're literally like this. Like, I'll call her to vent. She calls me to vent. I call her the other day, I was like, hey, I'm about to buy these sheets. How do you feel about them? Like, she's literally like a big sister to me now. But every single one of them welcomed me with open arms and has, brought me into the family. And I'm just very blessed to be a part of the family. In the first season of every show, I feel like you're establishing characters and finding your footing and finding storylines, and I think we're doing amazing at that. But I also think throughout this process, we're learning what each of us really, can bring more to the table, and you get to see a little bit more of, throughout the season, a little bit more of Nina's awkwardness and her goofiness, and but she's also still kind of like wrangling everyone in. And when Junior kind of goes off on his craziness, she brings him back in and she tones everyone down. But yeah, the cool thing about this show is they want to hear from you. They brought Essence and I into the writer's room and talked to us about the characters, what we like, what we don't like, what we want to add, what we think we need to take away. And so I've never felt more included in a project than I have on this show, because even if we're on set and I'm like, I don't really know if I would say this or if I would say it this way, without hesitation, they're like, all right, however you want to say it. And you don't always get that on a show. A lot of writers, and they're like, no, you got to say what's written right here. So they're very, very cool in that sense. And they allow us to try things. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We try something else. But you feel very free, and it's a safe space to try. Like, all right, I'm gonna throw it this way. If it works, great. If not, and I think Junior I work with the most, because we're husband and wife in the show, but we're constantly getting in trouble. We're like always making the other one laugh, and politely someone will come up, and it's gotten to it used to be they would come up and be like, hey, shh. Well, I think the cool thing about everyone on, especially if there's a scene between Senior and Junior, it's like it's just one-upping each other. And then when the 4 of us are in a scene together, it's just, someone's always laughing. It's always making like just the delivery, or someone will throw in an extra line, or someone will just start improvising and we'll just riff off of each other. So it's a fun set. 5-second pitch of why you should watch the show: because it's funny, it's relatable, it's wholesome, it's a real father and son. So you can't get chemistry like that anywhere else. And it's fun. And I think this is more than 5 seconds, but I love that our show has, it is your typical sitcom. It's funny, but it's also, there's a lot of real moments in there, and you get to see very real and raw moments that are relatable. And we have bloopers at the end of the show, so bringing back old school comedy. You can find me on Instagram at it's Tetona Jackson, ITSTETONA Jackson. Hi, my name is Tetona, and you've just been buzzed.